Hey guys, it's me Ram here, and in today's video, after quite a while, we're going to be doing some 2x2 walkthrough solves featuring some incredible world-class solvers. Now this video includes some very big names. All of the people in this video have put in countless hours of practice into this event to be as good as they are today. Not to mention, all of these people are getting incredibly fast times and pushing the limits of this event and showing us what is truly possible. Anyways, without any further ado, let's hear from our 4 special guests.
Hi, my name is Zayn Khanani, and these are my walkthroughs for Ram's video.
Hi everyone, my name is Antonie Paterakis. I'm the current 2x2 ER holder with the time of 0.97, and I hope you enjoy my walkthrough solves for Ram's video.
Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Sujan Feist, and today I'm doing 10 walkthrough solves on Ram's channel. Let's get straight to it.
Nigel, 4th in the world for 2x2 average with an average of 1.02 seconds, and today we'll be doing some walkthrough solves, so let's get straight into it.
Alright then, so before we begin, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of these amazingly fast people for taking their time out to feature in this video. I really appreciate it. Now just to set a baseline, before these guys do their walkthroughs, I will be doing a walkthrough on all of these 10 scrambles as well, one by one. Compared to these people, I would consider myself amateur at best. The only sets I personally know are CLL and EG, and these guys know a lot crazier sets than this, such as TCLL, TEG and last slot. The new trend between these guys is also naming cases after people these days, such as this EG one is called Luke 131st. Anyways, enough blabbering ATP. Let's get started with the walkthroughs. Alright then, here's the first scramble at the top of the screen now. So for this first scramble, the only thing I would check is this yellow bar right here, and the way I can build this face is with R prime, U2, R, U prime, R prime, and that leaves me with a really nice EG1 case. Now there are 2 ways I can solve this EG1 case. One of them like this, which would leave me with no AUF, and the other one like this, which would leave me with a U2 AUF. However, personally, I prefer this algorithm, so in comp I would probably just go for this.
For the first scramble, I saw there was a pre-made TCBL on white and yellow, and so basically instead of just doing an R prime and then getting this EG1 LS, I know you can do U prime first, and then you get this EG1 LS, which is actually a really nice cancel into the out. I also looked on white and saw you could do 2 moves to this not too good LS case, but I also checked you could do like different R moves to force different cases, but none of them ended up being that great. And I also looked on orange and saw you could do 3 moves into this pretty bad CL. So eventually what I decided to do was on yellow, I held it here and did U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, U2.
On this first scramble, I see a couple different things that are good. Firstly, I see on yellow, there is 5 moves to a good EG1. That's pretty nice. And on the other hand, what I see on white is you have 3 moves to this, but you can actually cancel into the LS, so you can do R prime, F prime, U prime, R prime, and you're left with this short finish. But I'd probably still go for the solution on yellow because it's just a lot more spammy and a lot faster. So the full solution would be this.
Alright, so jumping straight into this first scramble, the first one that I see is that we have this sort of like white layer thing, and I see we can do 5 moves into this pretty nice EG1 case actually. And then some other things that I see is that we can force like used before, but like none of those give that pretty great cases. Go to like U2, where that's pretty bad. So probably just making the basic face here would be the best thing for this specific layer. And then I also did look at some other things. I see we can do 3 moves into this LS case. And usually for this LS, I just do hedge, and then I just finish off this pretty nice TCLL. So that wouldn't be too bad. I also do see we can do 5 moves into this EG1, which is also a pretty bad case. And then some other things that I see is we can pair up some bars on orange with, you can do like 2, or this, pairing up this bar like this, and then doing 2 moves into this LS case, but this is a pretty bad LS. Or we can make this 3 move CLL face and then get this 2-gen CLL, which wouldn't be bad here, but if I were to do this solution, I'd probably start with algos like this. But other than that, what I'd probably just end up going back to here and doing officially, if I did, or just basically what I end up doing for this scramble is I would just pretty much just do white, holding it here, doing R prime, U2, R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R2, F prime, R, F, R prime, F prime, R.
First scramble, and as you can see, there's this pretty nice yellow block, and the layer is 5 moves like this into this EG1 case. And this EG1 case, there's 2 outs for this case. There's like this out with no AUF, or this out for U2 AUF. Personally, I would go for the one with the no AUF solution. So the solution would look something like R prime U2, R, U prime, R prime U, R, U, R2, F prime, R, F, R prime, F prime, R.
Alright then, here's the second scramble at the top of the screen now. For this scramble, what I would sport is this 4-move EG1 face on green, U prime, R2, U prime, R prime, and it leaves you with this really nice EG1 case that's just 6 moves. So I can do a U prime, do this 6-move algorithm, and I'm left with the U2 AUF.
For the second scramble, I saw that on white you could do one move into this really bad EG1 LS, and then I also looked on blue and saw you could do one move into this pretty nice EG1 LS, which is the solution I decided to go with. But I also saw you could do 6 moves into this really nice CLL and you can cancel into it. I also looked on green and saw you could do 4 moves into this not too great EG1 case. So eventually what I decided to do was I held it here on blue and did R prime, U prime, R2, U, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, U prime.
For the second scramble, I mainly focus on this bar on blue. The other things are not too great in my opinion. So you can either do this into a PBL, which is not too nice, or something else that I saw is you can do RU prime R prime into this LS, which is very nice. So the full solution would be RU prime R prime, insert, and then cancel into this CLL.
Alright, so for this next scramble, the first thing that I see is we can do 3 moves into this pretty nice TCLL on blue. I also see we can just build the EG1 face and we end up with a Y prime on top, which would be pretty mid here. And the next things that I see is we can do 2 moves either into this LS case, and usually for this LS I just insert and then I finish with the TCLL or Elias shift. I also see we can do 2 moves into, not 2 moves, we can do U prime F2 into this LS case, which this is a pretty nice one, but I would probably end up doing this solution, but I would actually do a different alg here, but I'll quickly just scan around the cube to see if there's anything else that's good. We can do 4 moves into this EG1, which wouldn't be too bad, but it's still kind of mid, or we can do 4 moves into this EG, but this is also pretty mid here. So what I'd probably just end up going with here is we can hold the face like this and do U2 F2, and then we get the LS from this angle, and I know a pretty nice 6-move alg for this LS case that just goes straight into it, and there's also no UF. So my full solution is I would hold it here and do U2 F2 U, R prime U prime F, R prime F prime R2.
So here's the second scramble, and on this one there's this 5-move white layer into a Y palm, which is pretty mid, and on blue there's this 6-move layer. So you can do it in 2 different ways actually, like one like this and one like this, and which is good enough. But what I'll probably do is on red, there's this 3-move face into this EG2 case, and the first 3-move of the EG2 case is F U prime R, so the cancellation is actually really nice. So the full solution will be something like R2 U2, R U prime, R prime U, R prime F prime U2, which is a nice 9-mover.
Alright then, here's Scramble 3 at the top of the screen now. Now personally, I don't love this scramble, and this is where these guys walkthrough will really come in handy. What I would do here is just aim to safety a low or a sub 2. For my solution, I could sport a 4-move EG1 face on yellow by doing U prime, R prime, U, R2, and then I'm left with this okayish EG1 case with a U AUF, which goes like that.
For the third scramble, I saw on yellow you could do 1 move into this pretty nice TEG1. I also looked on blue and saw you could do 2 moves into this not too great TEG1. And then the last thing I checked was on red, you could do 5 moves into this really bad PBL case. So eventually what I decided to go with was on yellow. I held it here and did F, R2, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, F, R, F prime, R, U prime.
The third scramble, there's 2 main things I would check. Firstly, on blue, there's 2 moves to this twist EG1, but I don't really like the case. And on yellow, there's 1 move to twist EG1, and this case is actually a lot better, and you don't have pre-UF. So the full solution would be from here.
Alright, so for the third scramble here, the first thing that I see is we can do 1 move into this pretty nice TEG1 case. I also see on blue we can do 2 moves setting up to this LS case, but this is a pretty bad LS case. I also see we can just like build the EG1 face and we end up with Idaho last, but we can actually do like a EG1 LS thing here, but that wouldn't be too great. Other things that I see, we can build this to get this PBL. We can build this red face to get this PBL, but that's kind of mid. So what I'll probably just end up going back to here is this pretty nice TEG1 on yellow, doing F to set up the TEG1 face, then just finishing with R2, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, F, R, F prime, R, U prime.
Okay, so here's the third scramble, and here there's 1 move into this TG1 case, which goes like this, which is what I'll probably do. Some other options are like 5 moves into PBL on red, or 4 moves into this pretty bad EG1 case on yellow, but the TG1 solution seems really nice, so I'll just do that.
Alright then, here's the fourth scramble at the top of the screen now. Now this scramble here is actually pretty embarrassing for me. As you guys can see right here, there's this one move into this TCLL layer, and this TCLL case is actually really easy looking at the document. However, I do not know this case, and therefore I'm not allowed to actually do this in my walkthrough solve because I wouldn't do it officially. You guys will see what the TCLL is from the rest of the solvers, I guess, but for now I'm just going to be showing you guys my solution. What I would do is this 4 move EG1 face on white. So I would do F2, R prime, F, and then just cancel into this EG1 with no AUF. I still think that this is a pretty good solution, but it's nowhere near as good as the TCLL.
For the fourth scramble, I saw on white you could do one move into this really nice TCLL with no AUF. I also looked at doing that solution from a different angle, like holding on blue and doing U prime, R2, U, R prime, U2, F, R, F prime. But eventually I just went back to the TCLL solution, so I held it here in the full solution, was just doing R prime, U2, R, U prime, R2, F, R, F prime.
For the fourth scramble, there's a pre-made CBL. However, I don't really know it, and there's something that's very good. It's just one move for TCLL, U2, and then just do the TCLL with no AUF.
Alright, so for the fourth scramble, there's pretty much a pretty easy solution here. Just you can do one move into this really nice TCLL with no AUF here. And then I would check for like some different angles for executing, or maybe even like a different solution that could be better. We can like do 4 moves into this CLL, and we can also fool around with this sort of like TCBL thing on blue. But that all those are pretty mid compared to this really nice solution, which is probably like 0.5able. So my full solution is I'd hold it here and do R prime U2, R U prime, R2 F, R F prime.
Okay, so here's the fourth scramble, and this is a pretty straightforward one, as there's this one move TCL layer on white, and U2 and then this really easy TCL case, which is just R prime R prime sledge with no AUF. So that's pretty spammy and pretty fast to execute.
Alright, so here's scramble 5 at the top of the screen now. Alright, so what I would do on the scramble is the most straightforward solution, I guess. That's just this 2 move CLL layer on white into this pretty good CLL, but I would hold it from the back here, do U2, L prime, U prime, and then do the CLL to avoid the AUF.
For the fifth scramble, I saw on white you could do one move into this really nice LS case with no AUF. I also looked on green and saw you could do 3 moves into this pretty bad LEG one, or you could do 2 moves into this LS, and for this LS, I actually hold it from this angle, so it ends up being the same as this LS solution on white. So that's what I ended up going with. So the full solution from here is just doing R prime, U prime, R, F, R prime, F prime, R, U2, R, U2, R2.
For the fifth scramble, there's like a lot of options, but there's, in my opinion, one that is quite a lot better than the rest, which is on white. If you do R prime into LS, because it has no, that was pretty okay, and there's no post AUF. So the full solution would look like this.
Alright, so for the fifth scramble, the first thing that I see is we can do one move into this LS case. I also see we can do U prime and then that one move into the LS case to force a different LS case. But here I think the first R prime just to this LS is probably the best thing. I also see we can do 4 moves into this TCLL, which is kind of mid here. I also see we can do 3 moves on green into this EG1 case, or we can do 3 moves on blue to get this really bad EG1 case. So what I'd probably just end up going with here would be this, just 1 move LSV on white into this LS case. So my full solution from the start, holding it here, just pretty much being R prime, U prime, R, F, R prime, F prime, R, U2, R, U2, R2.
Fifth scramble, and there's this block here. There's this 6 move layer on orange into this case, and you could also do it like this and then get suit. But what I'll probably do is this layer on white, where there's this 2 move layer, but instead of doing like this 2 move layer and then just go straight layer out like this, I'll probably do like there's this 6 move layer instead, and you can actually like cancel into an elk for direct U, which the full solution will look something like U prime, R prime, U, R, U prime, F, R prime, F prime, R prime, U prime.
Alright, then here's scramble 6 at the top of the screen now. Again, for this scramble, I'm probably just gonna go with the most straightforward solution here. There's this 3 move EG1 face on green into this not so great EG1 actually, but here there's actually a pretty big cancel. So essentially, the main alg I use for this case goes like this. It starts with this move. However, the face also ends with that same move. So what we can do is R prime U, and then just go straight into this algorithm, and we're actually left with no AUF. So this is a solid solution.
For the sixth scramble, I saw on green you could do 3 moves into this EG1, and you can also cancel into it with no AUF, which is pretty nice. I also looked on blue and saw you could do 1 move to this EG2 LS, but it's not too great. and I also tried pairing up like a bar on white and orange, but here it wasn't really giving any good continuations. So eventually what I decided to go with was just the solution on green by doing R prime U, F prime R, F, R prime F prime R, U, F prime R, U, R prime.
The 6th scramble gave me a little bit of trouble because there's some bars, but it does not really give good cases. So what I ended up going with was on white, there's a 4-move layer which cancels a move. So the full solution will look like this. Which is still not great, but probably the best I could find on the scramble.
Alright, so for the 5th scramble, the first thing that I see is we can do 3 moves into this EG1, which wouldn't be too bad, but still not the best. We can also insert some different ways to get some different EG1 cases, but none of those are pretty good. So the next thing I see is on blue, we can do 4 moves into this EG2, but this is also a pretty bad case. Well, it's not bad, because usually I just force this yellow face, but it's nothing too great. So then the next things that I see is on red, we can do 4 moves into this EG1, which is kind of bad here. I also see we can do like 3 moves into this TCLL on orange, which is again still quite mid, and I wouldn't like it. We can also do 5 moves into this CLL, which is again really mid, and I wouldn't like it. So what I'd probably end up going with here on this scramble, even though I still probably wouldn't like it, is on orange we can do 4 moves into this LEG. We can actually cancel into it here. So my full solution is I'd hold it here and do U prime F, U prime R, U2 R, U prime, R2 U, R prime U, R prime U prime.
Here's the, I think it's a 6th scramble, and there's this green V case, and then just insert this corner here, you could get this EG1 case with the first move already done, and then there's no AUF, so it's pretty spammy. And the full solution will look something like R prime U, F prime R F, R prime F prime R U, F prime R U, R prime.
Alright then, here's Scramble 7 at the top of the screen now. So in an actual solve, what I'd probably do is just look around these 2 bars right here, and I actually see a pretty decent solution here on green. What we can do is this 6-move EG1 face into this pretty good EG1 with no UF.
For the 7th scramble, I tried looking for some options of faces on green and blue, but really none of them were giving that great of cases. So eventually what I decided to go with was on white. I saw you could do 2 moves to this LS case, and then the main algo I use for it is where you set up to a TCL, or it's also technically a cancel into this L case. So basically from here, the full solution is just doing R, F prime U, R prime F R, F prime R U, R2 F prime R.
For the 7th scramble, again, there were quite a lot of options, but there's just a lot that I didn't like that much. So what I probably end up going with is on green. 3 moves into this very nice twist EG1 with no pre and no post UF. So the full solution will look like.
Alright, so for the 7th scramble, the first thing that I see is we can do 7 moves into this EG1 on green. I also see we can do 7 moves into a similar EG1 on blue. But other than that, what I'd probably just end up going with on this scramble is I see on white we can do 2 moves into this LS case. And usually for this LS, I just insert and then I finish with lefty Elias GIF. So my full solution is I'd hold it here and do R, F prime U, R prime F, R, F prime R, U, R2, F prime R.
Alright, so here's the 7th scramble, and here's these 2 bars on green and blue. There's this 6-move face on green, and then U2 and this EG1 face. And on blue, there's this 6-move face into this Diet and T2 and EG1 case. But what I'll probably go for is on white, there's this 3-move layer like this into this pure U case, which the L I use is just double slash and double sexy with no UF, so that's pretty spammy.
Alright then, here's Scramble 8 at the top of the screen now. Now in a real solve for this scramble, the only thing I would probably do is just look around this bar right here, and the solution I would come up with probably is something like this. L prime, U prime, L to insert this, and then cancelling into inserting that last orange piece to make a CLL layer, and then cancelling into this pretty good CLL. And again, no UF.
For the 8th scramble, I looked on orange and tried checking a few different options for CLL layers, but really I wasn't getting any great solutions for them. So then what I ended up also looking at was yellow. I saw you could do 6 moves and then you can cancel into anti-Nicholas with the UAF, so that's what I ended up going with. So holding here, the full solution was doing U, R, U prime, R2, F prime, R, F prime, R, U, R prime, U.
For the 8th scramble, I'll probably do one of the most straightforward solutions here, would just be inserting this corner into LS, which is a pretty okay LS case. The full solution would end up looking like this.
For the 8th scramble, the first thing that I see is on yellow, we can do, I think 4 moves. Yeah, 4 moves into this TCLL. I also see we can build this yellow EG1 face and we get this case, and I actually know like we can cancel into the LEG, which wouldn't be too bad. But what I'll probably end up going with here is I see on orange we can do 2 moves into this really nice EG1 LS case, and usually for this EG1 LS I just set up to Zayn 0.92 third. So my full solution is I just hold it here and do U, R prime, U, F, R prime, F prime, R2, U, R prime, U, R prime.
So here's the 8th scramble, and on the scramble there's a 6 move CR layer on yellow, and then it gives anti-Nicholas, and then from here you can like cancel into the out, so it's like U R, U prime, R2, F prime R, F prime R, U, R prime U. And another option on this scramble is that you can do 5 moves like this into this CR case and just like cancel into an alternate algorithm. But I think the anti-Nicholas solution is better.
Alright then, here is Scramble 9, the second last scramble at the top of the screen now. Now it appears that this is actually a no bar scramble, but what I do see is if we do this one R move here, we make this blue bar and this blue bar, which we can actually use to make a pretty good face. We can do R, U2, F2, and then we're left with this pretty good EG1 with no UF. So that's probably the solution I would end up seeing and doing.
For the 9th scramble, the main thing I focused on was you could do 2 moves to pair up a bar on green and white, and here you actually have a 2-gen finish, and there's 2 EG1 LS Elgs that you could finish in 6 moves from here. So either you could do U prime R2 U2 R U R2, or you could do U R2 U2 R prime U R2. And then I also checked both of those solutions from the other 2-gen angle. So like from here, you could either do R prime U2 R2 U R U2, or you could do R U2 R2 U prime R U2. But eventually the one I decided to do was the one from here that started with U prime, and then basically the full solution for the scramble was doing R prime F U prime R2 U2 R U R2.
The 9th scramble is a no bar, so on the first hand it looks quite bad, but there are some options like this. However, on red, you can do 4 moves into a TCLL and it actually cancels 2 moves. So the full solution would be like this.
Alright, so for the 9th scramble, the first one that I see is on yellow. We can do 3 moves into this LS case, which wouldn't be too bad, but still wouldn't be the best here. I also see, on green we can do 5 moves into this EG1, and from that I know that we can actually do a long insert, but we have to rotate, and we can actually cancel into this LEG1, which actually wouldn't be too bad here. I also see on white we can do 4 moves into this TCLL case, and we can actually cancel into it, which also wouldn't be too bad. But the solution that I would probably end up going with here, because I think is probably by far the best, is on red. We can do 3 moves, or we can do 4 moves into Zayn 0.97 second, and we can actually cancel into it. But I'd probably hold it at this angle because I think it's a lot nicer. So my full solution is I'd hold it here and do U, R prime, U prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, F prime, R.
Okay, so here's the 9th scramble, and it's a no bar scramble, so at first it looks really bad. But if you look closer on green, there's this 6 move LEG1 face into this LEG1 case, and the first 3 moves are RU to R, so it cancels really nicely with the layer. So the full solution will look like R prime F, U prime, R2 to RU, R2 with no AUF.
Alright, here is the 10th and final scramble at the top of the screen now. Alright, so looking around at this scramble here, there are actually quite a few bars, but there are 2 solutions I'm pretty likely of doing, and both of them are here on orange. The first one here is just a simple 4 move EG1 face cancelling straight into this EG1. It's actually really nice and spammy, and I think it'll go really well. The second one here is on orange again. You can do R, U, R prime like this, and you're left with this LEG1. Now I do happen to know a few LEG1s, and this is one of them. This is actually a really nice LEG1, probably the best one. You can just do U2 and then go straight into this algorithm like this, and you finish with the UAUF. I think the first solution would probably be a lot faster, but the second one for me feels a little bit safer in theory.
For the 10th scramble, I saw that there was this nice pre-made EG1 LS on orange, and normally you could just insert like this to this EG1, which is also good, but here I prefer to make it into a layer and then I just go straight into Nicholas with no UF. And then I also looked on white, and so you could do 2 moves into this pretty bad TCLL, or you could do 1 move on blue into this not too great EG2 LS. So eventually the thing I decided to do was the EG1 LS on orange by holding it here and doing U prime R, U, R2, F prime, R2, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R.
At the last scramble, there is again like quite a few bars, but there's one thing that really stands out with respect to the rest, and it's just the simple solution on orange. Just insert the corner into this very nice EG1, which is actually probably my favorite alloc of any set. So yeah, would definitely not do that.
All right, so for the last scramble, the first thing that I see is on orange. We can do 4 moves into this EG1 case, and we can go straight into it, and there's no AOFs, and it's actually a really nice EG1 case. But I know whenever we can insert into this EG1 case from this angle, we can just force a layer into Nicholas, and that would be pretty nice here. I also see we can do 2 moves into this TCL, or we can do 3 moves into this LS case, which actually wouldn't be too bad. But some other things that I see is on green, we can do 5 moves into this EG1, and we can actually cancel into it. That'd be kind of mid. We can also do like 1 move into this anti-LS case, but this is a pretty bad case. So my full solution is I just hold it here on orange, doing U prime R, U, R2, F prime, R2, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R.
Okay, on the last scramble, there's this 3-move LEG1 face into this Sujan LEG1. There's this 2-move TCF layer into this case, which is good. But what I'll probably do is this 1 move into this EG1 LS on green. And there's 2 ways to solve it. One is the normal, which is just U prime F U to F prime R prime F to F prime U prime. But another way to solve it, which I think is probably better, is to cancel into inserting this piece and then just doing U2 and then just cancelling, kind of like cancelling to soon F U I U to R prime with no UF. The full solution will look something like R2 U prime R prime U2 F U I U to R prime.
So yep, that's pretty much it for these world-class 2x2 walkthrough solves with these special guests. Again, a massive thank you to all these guys for taking their time out to join this video. I really appreciate it. And to you guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed and learned quite a bit from it. Goodbye.